Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of Healthy Living in Wine. I'm your host, JQue. Here at Healthy Living in Wine, we create space for real conversations, intersections of wellness, lifestyle, everyday choices, right? And in this place, we find balance is personal, growth is layered, and taking care of yourself, it includes how you think, how you move, how you live, all while enjoying a glass of wine. I know, right? On this episode tonight, though, we're talking about rhythm. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of rhythm that you chase, but the kind of rhythm that returns to you. Life has a way of interpreting your space. Plans change, routines shift, and sometimes the rhythm that once felt natural, it no longer fits, right? Yeah. Well, today's conversation, Finding Your Rhythm, it explores what it looks like to reset after those moments. How confident it is, but quietly through how confidence we're building quietly through consistency. And how growth can happen without feeling like you have to reinvent yourself to move forward. Well, this is about honoring your timing, trusting your process, and allowing evolution to unfold without pressure. Today's episode is supported and sponsored by Côte de Femme, giving you permission to live extra, baby. Yay. Y'all okay? Black Umbrella Studio, thank you. The creative and the production home for healthy living and wine. And Body Love and Skincare, because you know what? Self-care matters, including loving the skin I'm in, baby. Hey. Mocktails for Mama, thank you for offering healthy options and delicious alternatives to alcohol without compromising lifestyle. We appreciate our partners for supporting our conversations that center around wellness, creativity, and community. Now, listen, before we go any further, I want to know, while you're listening, in this moment, I want you to get comfortable. Go ahead, that's right, grab your glass, pour up something wine, or maybe if you're sipping on today, just water. Make yourself at home and settle into the conversation. As you're listening, I do want you to check in with yourself for a moment, right? Yeah. Where in your life does your rhythm feel just a little bit off right now? Is it in your pace? Maybe your priorities? Or maybe even the expectations that you're carrying? Wow. Ooh, I know, right, girl? We're going to get into that. If this episode resonates with you, listen. Be sure to like, share, and comment. I love hearing your feedback and keeping the conversation flowing, right? Well, now that we have all the housekeeping rules out of the way, everybody's got their wine poured up. You know what? Let us pour up one more time. Let's pour up. Whoa, baby. Okay, pour up. Pour it up. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Everybody's got their wine poured up. Let's get into it. I'm so excited to welcome my girl, Tiffany Green, to the show. Ooh, baby. Now, here at Healthy Living in Wine, if you didn't know, we don't lead with titles or resumes. We like to start with personals. Allow the story to naturally unfold through the conversation. And for this episode, we're going to be talking about what it really looks like to find your rhythm again. Yeah, I know. Tiffany and I, we go back, and I know a lot about her story. We share some of the same situations, and I'm so excited for this conversation to unfold. Okay. So to help my audience and to help everybody get to know you a little bit more, Tiff, take us back to a moment in your life when you realized that you needed to slow down. You needed to reset and start trusting your own rhythm again.
Ooh. Actually, honestly, it's been recently.
I know.
Yes, it's been so recent. I really only like my close knits know really what's been going on with me, because the people are like, "You're so MIA," but actually, I lost my job.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God,
girl. Yes. Take a drink for that one, y'all.
Ooh, take a drink and cheers on that one. Woo! Cheers to losing your job. Yeah. I know it's good. Good, but good.
We good, but some things happen. There's beauty in chaos.
Yeah, there is.
And there's things that are necessary that do happen for a reason. So yeah, I used to work for the government. Life happened with everything with DEI and all of that. So I was at work one day, We had a team's meeting, and I thought it was just our regular, like, find out what's coming up next and what's going on. And that Friday was the day I was told, like, hey, this isn't going forward anymore. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, what's the process and all of that? And it was like, oh no, today's your last day. So,
Wait a minute. This is good, juicy. Tiffany. Okay,
yes.
wait.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes.
Appreciate you sharing, because there are so many people right now that have experienced that moment when life shifts immediately.
Yeah.
There's no announcement. You don't know what's happening. It kind of just happens. And suddenly, the rhythm you were moving in now no longer fits.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and I want to stay right there for a moment, because disruption doesn't always have to show up as chaos. But sometimes it looks like exhaustion.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes it looks like loss of motivation.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looks like, you know, your body, your spirit, they're quietly saying, this space is no longer sustainable. And then it shows up in the world.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We live in a world that pushes us all the time to keep going no matter what. Keep going, keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know, I find myself as a coach sometime, I end some of my sessions by saying, keep pushing, queen, keep going. And I'm thinking, oh my God, when I was doing all the research on this topic, I was like, I need to change my own ways, because resetting often is labeled as falling off. And keep pushing is sometimes represented as you didn't do enough.
Yep.
You know, or you didn't have it, when reality can just be an honest response to change.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do we do that? Reset is not quitting. It's listening. It's recognizing that the work we did before may not fit now.
Yes.
And giving yourself permission. Permission to adjust is the first thing that we have to do in order to regain our momentum.
Yeah.
So when that disruption happened to you, girl, how did you show up? How did you build? I mean, what's going on with you from then and to now? What have you been really like doing?
Baby, I cried. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I
Okay.
think that's the thing, is that we, especially as women, we put on this front. Like, I got it together, everything's okay, like, I can do this, I can handle this. And also for me, it was really pride. I'd never, like, you know, been let go from a job before, and that's all I know is working. That's it. Like, I'm providing, I'm taking care of my family, I'm just doing what I gotta do. And Tiff is on it 24/7.
Right.
So for that to happen, it was like a blow. And I
Woo!
actually had to, like, even just ask myself, who am I?
Girl.
Who is Tiffany?
You know what?
Because who is Tiffany without these specific jobs attached to her?
Yep.
Like, where is actually your identity? And I am still trying to find who Tiffany actually is, what Tiffany actually likes, what Tiffany dislikes, all of those kind of things. And in some ways, this was almost like a blessing in disguise for me.
Girl.
Because even though we have that pause and we talk about that reset, it's a pivot.
It is a pivot,
It's a
right?
whole pivot in the road. Like, it wasn't like, oh, life is over, this is it, even though I felt like it, because I ain't gonna lie, I was just on that little couch, just curled up with my little weighted blanket, feeling little hugs and
You know,
everything.
emotional.
But I was
You had
emotional, but I
to.
had to let myself feel
That's
that.
right, you had
That
to.
was the thing. I think that's so important, is allowing yourself to really feel what's happening to you, what's going on with you, because we're so quick to hide it. And I even had to take the time to, just for isolation, because I didn't have the capacity.
Yeah.
And I am a giver. I am a whatever you need, shirt off my back, here you go. But I just didn't have that capacity anymore. And I had to learn that it's okay that you don't have to pour all
right.
the time,
That's right.
24/7
That's right.
into everybody else. Like, you need to take that
You
moment
need
to
take
really
for
pour
yourself,
into
right?
myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, there's research that shows that even the nervous system responds to disruption before our conscious mind catches up. A lot of times there are things or signals that are happening even within our body and changes in our energy, our sleep, our focus. These are all indicators that we need the change before the disruption even happens to us, you know?
Yes.
We get so lost in the things that we're doing, the places that we're going, who we're being there for. Before that job, before that emotional situation, did you feel really secure? Were you really absolutely physically and emotionally secure in the situation that you were in? Or did you absolutely know that that was the rhythm and that Yeah.
It wasn't where I was supposed to be.
Yep.
And it was like knowing this poking that's been going on for a while. And it was like, okay, if you're not going to shift, I'm going to help the
I'm
shift
gonna do it for you, right?
take place.
Right.
And it did, because in the back of my head, I've always loved fitness. I've always had this thing of the combination of the mental health, the body, all of it, the wellness, everything that works together. And I found myself doing it at work. Like, of course, my background is clinical psychology. So I'm like, yo, I'm putting all of this anyway into work, that piece of just the therapy aspect of it, or just talking that motivational piece. And even, you know, the part of, especially in fitness, I had to catch myself with the cueing, because it's like, finish strong. You got this. But then also at the same time, remembering to say, like, you know what? Finish at your capacity.
At your capacity.
At your capacity. That's even like when it comes to modifications. It's like modifications still are rough. Regardless, they are
can
still
be rough,
tough.
as long
They're
as
still
you're
tough, but you're
challenging
doing
yourself.
it for what works for your body.
That's right.
So applying that to life, and I'm doing what works now for me. It's
Yeah.
not what I thought my life would look like. It's not what I expected. I'm still putting pieces together.
Okay.
I'm still figuring it out day by day, but I am honestly, I would have to say, now that I think about it, I'm really proud of myself for the steps
girl,
that
you know
I've
what?
taken.
I'm so proud of you, because
Yeah.
so many people feel guilty when they have to reset.
Yeah.
You know, especially when they've been consistent,
Yes.
they've been dependable for a long
Ooh,
time.
yes.
It's been like this pressure, and then you have to explain slowing down. Something
Yes.
happened.
Yes.
Did you struggle with
I
giving yourself
did.
permission to do that?
I did, because then it's
Yeah.
always like, well, Tiff, what's going on with you? We hadn't seen you anywhere. Where you been? Why aren't you doing that? And why aren't you doing this anymore? And it's like, I can't.
Yeah,
like
you-
right now, I just
forces
can't,
you.
because I would find myself going, you know, hanging out sometimes with friends. I'm there physically, but mentally I'm not. I would just be like, this is not me right now at this moment. I really actually have to take the time to separate and just take some time just for me to figure it out, to see what I need to do. And sometimes even figuring out, you don't really have to do. You also have to allow pieces to fall.
Pieces. Ooh, there's something very, very powerful when we acknowledge that life forces us to slow down.
Yeah.
Especially with people like me and you. We're always used to being in motion.
Yes.
Resetting is not really about stopping. I have learned that resetting for me is more about recalibrating.
Yeah,
It's
that's
about listening to what is happening in my life right now, in this exact moment, and responding with intention to what's happening right now.
Yes.
Instead of being resistant to it. You know, and
yes.
I kind of think that that's where we lose that rhythm.
We do.
Because we become so resistant to
Change.
the change.
Change.
Or understand that sometimes the rhythm just has to be reset.
Yeah.
And even if that means slowing down and just saying nothing.
Nothing. It's okay to not
That's
be okay.
part of it. You
That's
know,
what I've learned.
there's the earth
Yeah.
is still rotating.
It is.
So there's still some movement going on, right?
Yes.
When we think about the resets in that moment, what were some of the tools that helped you even recognize that you really needed to just absorb the reset and the re-rhythm of what was happening to you?
I'm a big advocate to know that the body keeps score.
Okay. Ooh, explain that. The body keeps
score.
Okay.
For me, I knew reset was necessary because of mindset. I had checked out. I just was floating through life, just existing.
Ooh, woo!
Yeah, that's when reset was realizing, like, you know what, girl, this isn't gonna work, and you can't keep going in this direction. And especially if you notice, I think it's important to allow the body to rest. But when you notice the body's like, it can't do no more, that's that warning signal to tell you, like, hey, we need to change some things. We need to just kind of even step back. My biggest thing was learning that it's okay to be in that silence.
Girl.
I don't have to have like all kinds of stuff going on, and it was okay just to
Chill.
remove myself and just chill. Like, it's okay to just actually sit on the couch at home and not do nothing. Like, I love my little weighted blanket, a little rubbing my little feet together at the house by myself.
That shift is like so important.
It's important though. It's okay to know it's okay not to be okay in some moments and taking the time out, because otherwise, if I'm honest, I probably wouldn't be here if I just allowed myself to continue to just keep going and going and going the way that I was. But also, that's the way that I was raised. You're this strong woman, so you gotta carry
Stop
it
on
all.
that strong woman stuff. Don't even.
Yes. Yes.
Let me tell you, what we just really started, or what we just really shared, were all the highlights about something. What we really don't think about. It's what happens during and after the reset. You know, emotionally, when it happens, you have to get through that emotional part for sure. Yeah. There's often a quiet rebuilding phase that doesn't even get talked about enough, you know, where we go into that cocoon, or we shell ourselves off. That part where we're showing up even without uncertainty, when we're showing up to ourselves without the applause of people looking at us, or immediate results, you know. But that's also where the confidence starts to take shape in a different way.
It does.
When we don't have anything to do but trust ourselves.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
We often think that confidence also comes from like big wins or major milestones, but over time what I've found is I actually get more confidence when I'm building through repetition. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Consistency.
Yes.
You know, listening, toning in, watching myself, keeping my priority, and even when my motivation fades, I can count on keeping my rhythm in line even through consistency.
Yes.
Now, you and I know that very well, because consistency is familiar with people who work out, who fitness, who have particular lifestyles.
Yes.
You know, we often trust the familiar process more than we do our own selves. Right?
Yes.
I know for me, I'm gonna put myself in for it. I've been working out 35 years. Without fail, I'm gonna work out. I'm damn near in the hospital dying, and I want to get up and walk around with my little thing. I got to stay moving. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? So we understand what the confidence feels like, and it's different because we have a habit.
Yeah.
But do we find that it's really true after we reset our rhythm, or the things that we're doing in that resetting of that rhythm? Do you think they help us to really build the confidence in ourselves? Or are they the foundation of why we have the confidence we have? I think for me, it's why I have it.
Yeah.
It's because the behavior is going to be there for me no matter what.
Yeah. Yes.
It's going to bring me back. What about for you? You feel
it
me?
is. It brings you back, because when you fall off from fitness, it's like something is missing.
Especially when you do it for a long time.
Yes, and then it's like, what is wrong with the life? Something is missing, and it's just that consistency that you get as you keep doing it more and more. But your confidence builds the more you continue to do it.
That's right.
It's
That's
the
right.
more, and that's not even just in fitness, that's just in everything. The more you just continue to do it over and over again, and it's not something you necessarily have to just say out loud, but you yourself, if you're doing it continuously, then you start to see those small changes for you. And that's what I think helped me, is just seeing the small changes, especially pivoting, going in a different direction that I never expected to go in, because there were so many days, especially starting this Pilates adventure, the first round in training, I was like, no, this is a no. Like, you want me to do what? And I got to learn this, I got to learn that. But it was also learning not just about the body, but about my own ability to really trust and know, like, you got this. Like, at first, when we had to do our first cueing and our first classes, and everybody's like, oh, you can do it, you can do it. It's like, it's something when everybody else says it, but when you have to believe it yourself.
You have to believe it yourself. According to the published American Psychological Journey and the Personality Journey, self-trust, trusting yourself. I'm going to read this. Self-trust and confidence increases when individuals are consistently following through with the small commitments.
That's part.
The small commitments over time, rather than relying on bursts of motivation or bursts of success.
Yes.
I totally believe that. Even just, we talk about the wellness world, but in anything, think about how the beginning of the year, the wellness industry is booming like Newman, right?
Yes.
Because we're driven by the social norms of starting the year, starting strong, doing something different. You have so much momentum from starting something. The follow through, though, is where we begin to get inconsistent.
Yes.
And when we do that, that affects our confidence.
It does.
I can't go to the gym every day.
Yeah.
It starts to affect my confidence because even though it's only been a week and I have not changed in a week, I look in the mirror and I say, ooh, God, I need to get back to the gym because I'm fat.
Yeah.
It changes your whole mindset.
It does.
But when I'm going there every day, all the time,
Yeah.
in a week, even if I haven't changed, when I get back in there on that week, I'm looking in the mirror like, ooh, yes, honey, I'm back. I'm doing it. My whole confidence changes.
It does
It
change.
changes.
And you can't depend on, because even studies show that by mid-February, people who make resolutions fall off.
Done.
It's over. So it's like there's no point in really making it. You can do it all day long if you want to, but I'm just going to tell you right now, studies do show in science that it does not actually work. And you fall off by February. And it's also those burst of motivations. Burst of motivations do not keep you going. They don't. There's no way. It's because you have a moment that you're just like, oh, I can do this, this, and this, and I want to get my fitness life together and that. But it's if you have a plan, you have to have a plan. I'm big if you write it down all day long.
All day long.
You have to write something down to say, this is what my goal is. These are the steps, but take it in chunks. Make it small.
Yeah.
And that's what I even had to do for this with job-wise. When I lost my job, once I started to pick myself back up again. And
After
not
you
even gonna
went
lie,
through
there's still moments I still have now that I question, like, you know, was I not enough? Did I not do this? What did I do wrong? Like, what was it about me? But then having to look inside to say, necessarily it wasn't about you in that manner that you weren't enough. It's just that where you were could not contain exactly where it is that you need to be. Like your time is up there and it's okay.
over. The season
and
is
now
gone.
it's time to move on and it's okay. And I've said it before when I've been with you, like change is hard for me. You know my life. But still working on me. I'm a work in progress for change.
For sure.
And knowing that it's okay. But where I am now, when I tapped into teaching with Pilates, it was a whole new world for me.
A whole new movement for you.
It's like that moment when I think I taught my first class.
Yeah.
It was when I got done with that class, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be this whole time. Like, girl, what was you doing?
What were you doing? Who knows?
It's like, yeah, I had my other stuff that I was doing, but this specifically, the
You're in your
location
rhythm.
I am
All
in.
of it counts.
Yes.
All of it counts.
My rhythm. So, yeah.
Yeah, girl. I mean, it is so true. I think people often underestimate how powerful, like, being consistent with anything can be. Because my mom used to always tell me, baby, your feelings aren't real, but they are valid.
They're valid. Yeah.
Your feelings aren't real, but they are valid. You know, and it wasn't until I was well into my 40s that I understood that feelings are things and subconscious things that you do in the moment of what you're doing.
Yeah.
They're not valid because they change every other second.
Ooh, yes, they
They're
do.
stimulants. They're stimulants to
Yes.
help you recognize what's happening
part. Yes.
for you.
Yes.
So that then how you respond to them is what makes them valid or invalid.
Yes.
Right? And I'm
Yes.
like, yeah, well, but consistency, you know, what we always say is proof of also where our doubts creep in.
Yes.
Because when we're consistently going to the gym, I don't care if I'm still fat. I still feel better.
Yeah.
I feel better about what I did to myself. I have a greater confidence in even myself, not even just what I look like, but what I can do,
Yes.
how I can perform. I
Yes.
leave out of there happy. It's a
Yes.
mood sensor. And all of that
Serotonin
is
popping,
yeah,
dopamine, everything going.
It's biologically
Yes, it is.
we were built that way.
Yes.
Movement matters.
Yes, it does.
Harvard research says that sustainable personal growth often comes from integration and not reinvention. When people build forward using what they already learned about themselves, then that's when they really experience a greater stability of confidence and long-term fulfillment. As we continue to grow, as you were continuing to, you know, get through this challenging time and grow and really trying to reconnect with your rhythm, did you feel pressure at any point to reinvent yourself instead of evolving from where you were?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I think I applied, I don't know, for like 30 plus different jobs.
Did you change your resume
I did.
to fit
I didn't
the
feel
job
like to
description
fit the job
every
description. I was just like, yo, like I've been in this workforce for a minute now, so let me go ahead and just flip this up, about 30 different ones. And it's so crazy, all these applications, and damn, nobody called me back. Like I done made myself into this perfect little, just to fit every single job application. I was like, man, I
know,
probably
it's
got
like-
all kinds of resumes out here. Like, did she apply for something else? with yourself like afterwards, because I did get tickled with myself. I was like, girl, what resume did you send where, and what did you
That's
say
what
about
I started
yourself?
doing. I had to be like, wait a minute. Okay.
So I said, what now?
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
When people restart or when they reinvent or whenever they're trying to find their rhythm again, oftentimes we think that a new identity or a new version of ourselves or, everything we knew. But often, again, evolution is quieter than that. It's about refinement.
Yeah.
It's about
the little tweaks.
The little tweaks of the clarity of becoming more aligned with who you already are, which is why the job situation kind of hit you. Like you said, you had to re-look at who you were, re-find your rhythm, because you had built your rhythm based on where you were and your situation and who you thought you were going to be and what you were going through in that time. Now that you're on the other side of really not just finding, because I think that we're constantly trying to connect and align with, our true rhythmic selves.
Yes.
But now that you're on the other side of that, disruption and trying to truly understand moving forward, what has helped you recognize the need to either erase your past or become something new moving forward?
I would have to say it's actually a combination for me.
Okay.
Not necessarily erasing, because my past is who has helped me become who I am today.
Okay.
So that is the forming of this, I don't want to say a new Tiff, but a more tweaked, more understanding, a Tiff that gives herself more grace.
Ooh.
I am not a person who gives myself
I'm
grace. My
thank you,
perfectionism, it's so much sometimes that it can be so overwhelming that I have to realize, like, it's okay if you make a mistake, girl. It's okay if you don't get it right the first time. It's okay if it takes you several tries, and if you fall off again, and if you come back again. And it's even in the training process that I was in, there was many times I got to the house and I cried. I was just like, I'm not doing this.
To ask you that, you know?
I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm in my 40s and you want me to memorize all this?
Girl, listen, embracing your evolution sometimes required, we putting all these expectations on ourselves, and then it kind of helps me recognize, wait a minute.
Yes. Like, no.
Jesus.
Like, no. And that was one thing, definitely, especially in this world of fitness, you have so many young people. And especially it was so funny during training, because half of them thought I was in my 20s or 30s. And so when it was going around having a conversation, I was like, no, baby.
No, babe.
Not even remotely close. I have lived life. So learning not to compare that as well. Learning that the age that I am and my growth and maturity and the things that I've been through actually helped me even more.
Yeah.
Because during training, it's reminding myself, like, girl, you've done harder things than this before. So why are we sitting here crying? Get yourself together and let's get on this train and keep it going. So those are the things I think that have really helped me. So it's never, for me, it's never a new Tiff.
Yeah.
It's just new pieces that are getting added to me that are helping me get into alignment. And I think we're forever evolving.
Yeah.
It never stops. It never ends. And people think maybe, I finally arrived. No, lives. Like, you have no idea when you wake up the next day what it's going to be. It might not be your situation, but it's someone that could be connected to you that does still impact you. So it's like you always have to remind yourself that it's okay to continuously grow, and it's not going to be perfect every single day. There's some sunshine and then there's some rain moments, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's what you decide to do within the rain.
That kind of release is really freeing.
It is.
It is like...
It takes a while to get there.
It takes a while, but it also allows you to grow without pressure.
That part.
Oh my! And I feel like the current climate of our world and the standards and the idioms of where we're supposed to be in life and what we're supposed to be doing in life. We have so much pressure to grow based on what social says, our timeline of growth.
Yes.
You've been in business 3 years, and you should have this.
Yeah.
You got this kind of business, and you should be doing this. Well, you know what, JQue, you're this old. Well, why haven't you done this yet? Or, girl, you this old. We know you done did that. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, and when we allow that growth for ourselves, the grace to grow without pressure. It creates space for us to be more authentic and to connect with our true rhythm,
does.
instead of always performing.
That, yes. And then also when you grow, we try to fit ourselves into something when we're not ready for it
Ooh.
yet. So it's like, okay, I want this, and this, and I want to get to this point, and I have this whole vision and this plan, but how have I handled what I already have on my plate? How have I taken care of what's already been given to me, but I'm expecting to do all these other things. If I don't know how to handle this yet, I can't take on that.
I got drink to that.
I cannot. You know what? Let's cheers and just drink for that one, because that is
Baby.
facts.
I love that though, because like you said, with that kind of growth that's not pressured, it allows you to evolve and to feel intentional rather than reactive.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I'm sitting on the couch to reset because I know I need this.
Yes.
My phone is off.
Yes.
Not because I got fired out of a job and I'm emotionally crazy. Now I'm intentional about
my do not disturb.
11:30
We'll be on all day.
p.m.
We'll
What
be
you talking
on-
about?
mine will
It's
be on
when
all
it's-
day.
I got it set
And then I got-
automatically, right? On purpose.
Mine will be all day, and I have my specific people
That can
you
come
can get
through,
through,
and
that
that's
is
it.
And that's a word right there, because it's specific ones.
It is.
That
And
I
some
can.
of the
Because the other
specific
noise,
ones-
I can take you off.
What?
And put you right back on the other list. So yeah,
Man,
that do not
is
disturb
like,
is everything.
That is like,
yeah.
as we close this conversation though, in real time, everything we talked about today still comes back to rhythm.
Yes.
The moments when life interrupts your peace, the quiet work when you're rebuilding your confidence through the consistency and, understanding the emotions of it. And then the freedom that comes when we finally decide, you know what, we're evolving.
Yes.
And there is no reason that I got to reinvent myself.
Right,
This
that part.
happened to me or around me. It doesn't mean that, ooh, new Tiffany,
No.
ooh, new this, ooh, watch out, world, new JQue up in here, It just means that our, rhythm got a little off track.
Yes.
Finding your own rhythm really is not about even keeping up with trends, honey. At one time, I was trying to especially when I started my social media marketing aspect, it was like, girl, I'm on this thing. It was so bad when Instagram started telling you how much time you was using every day. I was like, the what? I'm not even getting paid to do this, and I'm on here how many hours a day? What the freak a week? Baby, it started to me about paying attention. I had to stop trying to keep up
That part.
and stay in my
Yes.
rhythm. Starting to keep up with somebody else's thing and learning to stay in my rhythm. And that happened with me paying attention. Honoring where I was and who I was in that moment. Trusting the timing and the growth that I was going through. All of that. Allowing myself in life to find the rhythm instead of being urgent. This, I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that.
Yeah.
This conversation, baby. I know we could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on tonight, but this conversation was an invitation, y'all, to slow down, to reflect, to remember that progress does not always have to be loud. It just has to be meaningful. Yes?
Yes.
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 Hey, baby. It's a wrap, folks. It is a wrap. Y'all, thanks for tuning in. Listen, be sure to stay connected to Healthy Living and Wine because upcoming conversations, events, and experience, they're all happening within our community. We have so many moments ahead, so continue to center your balance, talk about wellness, creativity, connection, and always intentionally when wine is involved. Everybody, thank you so much for watching, listening, being a part of the Healthy Living and Wine community. I appreciate you for showing up, reflecting with us, and sharing a space for these conversations. Tiffany, my girl, thank you so much for joining me today, for sharing your time. I appreciate you for coming in and opening up about your story, sharing authentically, to the world. I'm glad I got to be the first, you know what I'm saying? I truly feel like you are a special part of my life and this conversation. I'm super excited to have you on the Sip and Flow Wellness Series, yes. So please tell the audience how they can connect with you and if you have any last words to share.
Okay, so connecting with me, I am on Instagram. I'm not as much on there, but as long as you send me a DM, then guess what? You'll find me. I'm Inspired Words, inspired_words, WRDS. So definitely just, reach out, chit chat, talk, whatever the case may be. I'm always pretty much open. Really today, just learning even this experience within itself and knowing that rhythm, it's a beat to it. It's a wave. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's just the most quietest little thing ever, and that's okay, and that's good. And I'm still just rolling with my little wave, sometimes just sitting back in the chair, holding on sometimes, but still doing what I gotta do. So I appreciate it, and just know, even when life brings you those hard challenges, because honestly, we're all dealing with stuff. So really just understanding that, just sit with yourself for the moment, to know that it's okay not to be okay, but to know that okay is gonna be coming sooner than later.
You're gonna be back in rhythm before you know it. Listen, if this episode resonated with you in any way, be sure to like, share, and comment. I love hearing your reflections, and we enjoy keeping the conversation going, flowing, baby. Be encouraged that healthy living and wine can coexist beautifully when we balance, intention, and moderation is part of the pour. So let's do it, Tiffany. We're gonna close out with a beautiful toast. Tonight, I want to toast to here's to finding rhythm, to honoring your pace, and choosing presence one glass at a time.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening, guys.